to find the best breathwork teacher training for you, right? The best fit for you. That's what today's topic is. Please like, subscribe, follow, comment. I think it might get a little controversial later in this video, so you might want to watch the whole thing to see the controversy. So let's dive into it. How do I find the best breathwork teacher training for me? The easiest, most simplest answer to that is go do breathwork with a bunch of different people and see whose class you resonate with the best. See whose class you have the best experience in, or the biggest experience in, or whatever just opens you up. So I'm not for everybody. I don't want to be for everybody. You can't be who you really are. You can't be authentic and true to yourself and have everybody like you. You have to decide. So I decided a long time ago that I was going to do breathwork the way I like it. And so I talk a lot during my classes. I coach a lot during my classes. I'm really loud and motivational. Sometimes I swear, and that's not for everybody. So, I tell people, if that's not for you, I'm not your guy. That's okay. It doesn't hurt my feelings. Go find your person, right? So that is one of the things about me, but that's one of the best ways to find your breathwork teacher, is to do classes with a bunch of different people and see whose class you like. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to do the class like that teacher. What I'm saying there is people will come to my class and they'll love my style and they'll go, I love your style. I love the way you do the breathwork class, but I don't think I have that. I can't do it that way. I'm not loud. I don't want to say all that stuff. And I don't want you to be like that. You don't have to be like that. You can be however you want to be in your class. I teach you how to find your own voice, your authentic voice. If I don't do something that you want to do, great. That's an opportunity for you to do it the way you want to do it, is what I always tell my students. Your people are going to find you from your voice. They're gonna identify and connect with you. You have a unique voice. And so what I really try to do in my trainings is help you find your unique voice and bring out your voice. And we do a bunch of transformational stuff in my trainings to do that. Another thing I would look for is, does the training offer support after you're done? For example, I have a Q&A Zoom with my students every couple months, so that they can feel supported throughout their breathwork teacher journey. Whether they're just starting out or they've been teaching for years, you can get on the Zoom with me, a live Zoom Q&A, and ask questions like, this happened in a session, this happened in a class, what would you do? How would you handle this situation? Or, how do I find more one-on-one students? How do I build a class? So we're talking about the business stuff in there. So in these Q&As, it's an amazing way to keep learning, keep getting information from me. I've been doing this for over a decade, and I've had sold out classes for over a decade, and I've been doing trainings for a long, long time, for many, many years. And so one of the things that I bring to the table is my experience. I have a lot of experience in doing classes and taking people, hundreds and hundreds of people, and watching them transform right in front of my eyes. And so, does this person have actual experience leading the breath work? One of the things that might be controversial that I talk about sometimes in my in-person trainings is you'll see a lot of teachers who say I have 20, 30 years of experience in the health and wellness industry. And what they're really saying is, I was a trainer for 25 years and now I'm teaching breathwork, and I've literally only been teaching breathwork a year, but I'm gonna lead you in a teacher training. For me, that's off. I did hula hoop for 20 years and now I'm leading breathwork trainings. The reason I say that that's off is it's kind of misleading a little bit, because they actually haven't been doing breathwork that long. I will see people who go through a breathwork training and then immediately start doing their trainings after that. And I just don't think that that is ideal. Why? Because you don't have the experience. You haven't seen all the things that can happen in classes and sessions and all these different things. You're sharing your experience with people in a training. I've had people email me and say, I've never done breathwork before, but if I do your teacher training online, can I then lead my own breathwork teacher trainings? And I'm like, wait, skip over the part about working with people and helping people. That's the best part. That's the most fulfilling part. That's the part that gives you purpose and fulfillment, right? I mean, so many people are looking for happiness out there, and they think if they're not happy all the time, there's something wrong. You're not supposed to be happy all the time. But purpose and fulfillment, if you do something that gives you those things, that's what sustains you when you're not happy. In those moments that you're a little down, you have a purpose, you have a fulfillment. I cannot tell you how many times I've been down about something or upset about something, and I've done a breathwork class, and I leave there floating on air because I change people's lives. I see people's lives change right in front of me. It gives me that purpose. It gives me that fulfillment. So too many people now want to just skip over that, and they want to go right to leading their own trainings. And I don't know what that's about. Maybe it's about ego or it's about money, but I think it's off. So if that's your thing, I'm probably not your guy. I created this thing about 10 years ago where I said breathwork is like 20 years of therapy without saying a word. So I'm the one who started saying that. I have it on my stuff from 10 years ago. And if you see someone else saying that, and they're not quoting me, because my students will say it and they'll quote me in it, but if you see someone else saying that, then they're probably, taking it from me. I've had people take an entire, page of everything, the description of my class, take out my name and put their name in there, who aren't students of mine. And so people will literally just copy other people's stuff, copy and paste, and they haven't done the work. That's one of the controversial things out there. It's really easy to hire someone who can make a beautiful designed website and make the website look amazing and make them sound like they've got all this years of experience, and they don't. They actually don't. So make sure you find a teacher who actually has a lot of time and experience in leading other people through classes and sessions and stuff like that. Because people are kind of pretending that they have experience. And if that's how they want to do it, that's fine. But you don't want to go spend thousands of dollars with someone who doesn't have the experience, in my opinion. Maybe you do. Just dig a little deeper, and sometimes it's hard to know because they're really good at disguising it. One of the other controversial things I want to say here is I see people leading teacher trainings, and I'll see the pictures of the videos online, and they've got people's heads on yoga bolsters, these big cushions, right? And your head is up on that yoga bolster, and that's closing out your throat. You don't want that. You want a wide open throat. You want your head to be flat when you're breathing. So for me, that's a big red flag. And these are people paying thousands of dollars to go to have somebody teach them how to do breath work. And they've got one of the most basic, one of the most simplest things completely wrong with putting people's heads up on yoga bolsters. If you've got a medical issue, fine, put their head on a yoga bolster. But they're showing the entire training with heads on the yoga bolsters, hands locked out. You don't want to be locked out. You want to be opened up. I also have all these different things in the training. Like I give you a script to follow, to literally know what to say at the beginning of a session in a class. And you work on that script over and over. And in my in-person trainings, we work on that script. By the time you leave that training, you know exactly what to say backwards and forwards. And then you can tweak it and change it and make it your own however you want to do it. But you're confident in exactly what to say. And why is that important? It's important because you want the client or the student to feel safe. The safer the client feels, the safer the student feels in a session or a class, the bigger the experience, the deeper they can go. So your job as the facilitator is to make them feel safe. How do you make them feel safe? By letting them know this is going to happen, this might happen to you. Here's what you do. This is totally normal. Everything I cover in the script, and I make it as concise as possible because you only have a very short amount of time to have someone's attention. People check out. Everyone's got a 3-minute TikTok attention span now, and people check out. So I really say the same thing in every class or session at the beginning so that I can prepare the new people who have never gone through breathwork before properly. That's your new student. You need to prepare them properly so that they have a safe experience. With that said, there's a lot of buzzwords going on out there around breathwork now that didn't kind of exist a few years ago. One of them is trauma-informed. Is your training trauma-informed? Yes, it's trauma-informed. That's what breathwork training is. It's literally about how do you work with the trauma. So to say it's trauma-informed is like saying, my dog is a German Shepherd and he's a dog. It's like repeating the same thing over and over. It's just a buzzword. Embodiment is the other big buzzword that's going on out there. You're embodied? Is the instructor embodied? Are you embodied? Embodiment training. There's these new agey kind of buzzwords that go around. And I'm not that guy. I'm not the new agey guy. So if you're looking for a new agey guy with the new agey language, it's not me, because I feel like I want to be for the everyday person. The reason I have 350 people coming to my class in Bend, Oregon, which is a town of 100,000 people, the reason I have that is because I speak to the everyday person, to the mom who's stressed out, to the firefighter who's going through some stuff because of some trauma that he had or whatever. I speak to everyday people. And that's why I have huge classes. When I first started breathwork, there would be like 7 people in a class, and it was really new agey and woo-woo. And I had this idea. I thought, why doesn't everybody know about this? Why didn't somebody show this to me when I was a kid and suicidal or whatever? And I realized that it's because it's been kept in woo-woo, new agey circles for so long, and people want to do things that they can kind of identify and relate to. So what I did was I rebranded and recreated the breathwork. I took the technique and then I repackaged it with current music, without the new agey language, with more motivational stuff to get people to really work harder in the breathwork. So I repackaged the whole thing and I took out all that stuff. And that's why I started having sold out classes with 300, 400 people, and that's the ticket. So you can be new agey and come to my training if you feel like I'm for you. That's fine, but I'm not that guy. So just know that going in, if you're coming to a training with me, I'm not that guy. I will take the new agey language, the woo-woo language, and distill it down to what they're really saying for you. But I feel like a lot of that is to almost scare people in a way, so that they're like, oh, I don't know what that means. I have to do a training for 2 years, 8,000 hours or 800 hours. I saw a training the other day, it was like 2 years, 800 to 1,000 hours. You don't need 800 to 1,000 hours to learn breathwork. With me, you can do it in 4 days. Or you can do it online in your own pace at your own time. I've had students who have done it online and they have massively successful businesses. Why is that? Because I give you all the tools. I show you everything you need to do, whether it's when someone shows up for a session, exactly how to prepare your space, what to do after they leave to take care of yourself, which is really important. I give you all of those tools. And you don't need 2 years and 800 hours to get those tools. I just don't think it's necessary. I created the online training about 5 years ago, and nobody had done an online training before. And a lot of the teachers out there were like, you can't teach this online. They were giving me a hard time. You can't do this online. And I was like, well, watch me, because I think you can. And then interestingly enough, when the shutdown happened, they all went online and started doing their trainings online. And I was like, wait, I thought you couldn't teach us online. That's the controversy, right? That's some of the controversial stuff. Also, one of the things that people are saying now that I think is BS is be careful. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to re-traumatize somebody. I think that's BS. I don't think you can re-traumatize somebody with breathwork. The breathwork didn't put the trauma there. The trauma was already there. The breathwork's just showing them that the trauma needs to be dealt with. So that's not re-traumatizing someone. I just disagree with that statement. I feel like it's to scare people into 2-year trainings and to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars over 2 years to go through someone's training. And there's just so many things that are unnecessary in some of these breathwork trainings, like a static dance. I don't know what that has to do with breathwork. So what I do in my trainings, I really distill it down to everything you need. I give you all the tools you need. And also we do some personal transformation stuff, because you need to grow yourself. You want to have an experience with the breathwork yourself, because that's the most powerful place to teach breathwork from. So with all of that said, I hope that you check out my class. I do a class on Zoom every Sunday, and maybe I'll see you in one of my trainings, either online or in person. I hope I'm the teacher for you, but if I'm not, that's okay. I wish you much love on your journey. Thank you. Like, subscribe, follow, and I'll see you soon.